Hello and welcome back to the building of the bend buckle falcon. I'm about to begin actually masking off the second side of the fuselage. I'm going to be using this thin masking tape. As Cliff Harvey mentioned, if you haven't got access to this sort of very thin tape, you can simply cut your own strips by putting the tape onto a window or glass surface and using a steel rule to cut the appropriate thin strips. Because it's thin, it allows you to bend the tape or produce a nice curvature using the tape. Somebody also asked me how I actually marked on the lines onto the surface that I want to mask off. And the fact is I don't. I just go for a naturally flowing curve, because I think if it looks natural, it looks better. So here we go. I know roughly, well I know quite accurately actually, where the lines are on the other side. The end of this burst ray that I want to put in finishes along with this former on the other side, and the downside of the ray, the nice curve that I achieve, is about an eighth of an inch to a quarter of an inch above this point here, and finishes around about there, which is a quarter of an inch in from this former here. So I've got an idea what I'm doing. Let's go for it. So when I'm putting the tape on, I'm pulling it and pressing it down at the same time. If it doesn't work first time, you've simply got to just lift it and press as you're pulling it round. There you go. That looks nice. So let's take it to the point I want this sunburst to end, which is about there. Okay. And it comes down about an eighth to a quarter of an inch above this point. You also have to remember you can only see one side at a time. You can't see both. So if it's wrong, who's going to know? It's impossible to see both sides simultaneously. Now, this one's a little bit more difficult. I think it's the way I'm actually putting it on, the angle. Now that's not far off, although I think I'm a little bit too far this way. Let's try again. Now, not altogether sure whether that's spot on, so I'm going to check. Let's have a look. You've got to have a bit of a reveal of the other side here, so there we go. Actually I need to go further over than that. Let's try that with the a ruler. Nice handy size ruler to hand. That will actually make it easier because it doesn't have to go quite as far, quite as tightly rather. That's too much. As I say, it's just trial and error. You know, you keep going till it looks right. It looks right, it is right. Getting closer. You know, I'm going to do. I'm going to. There you go. Little bit of effort we got there. Happy with that. Now that will be sealed with dope. Because this is a doped surface, I want a clear finish. As I said before, if it was going to be if this had been coloured, let's say white, I would paint white along that edge so that any bleed under the tape was white, and then when I paint the blue on, you would end up with a crisp, sharp line. One other task to do before I start painting, and that's to use the soldering iron to burn through the holes for the dowels. And by using a soldering iron, you get a nice crisp edge. So there we go, we're all set now, ready to paint that, and we'll end up with the side, hopefully it looks just as good. Here we go, onwards and upwards. Okay, this is take two. Having thought about it for a moment, I considered that just putting the tape on where I thought it should go really wasn't good enough. So I've used some baking tray liner, which basically is a see-through tissue. I've traced on the shape of the curve from the other side, and I'm now going to transfer it onto here. I know where it should end. I'm going to move it a little bit so it's under the blue, because I'll paint over the top of the pencil line that I'm going to transfer through then. So if I just go over it like this, hopefully it's going to transfer through enough anyway to give me a guide for applying the tape. Here's my cat coming in wanting attention. Okay, Missy. There you go, that's better. Gives me something to work on now. If I zoom in there, you can see it. That'll be a perfect match to the other side. I should have thought of it in the first place. Okay, let's go. There you go. That's the final paint scheme applied to the fuselage. It hasn't been fuel proofed, obviously. That'll be completed at a later stage. The wings to go, and then the paint job's finished. The wings are going to mirror the horizontal tail surface. I think that's a rather nice scheme. I'm really pleased with it. Not long now. Thanks for watching. Thumbs up if you don't mind, subscribe if you haven't done so, and then you can keep up to date with the build as it progresses.